My name's Chris.
And I'm Kristie.
This is the Washing Up Podcast, and it's another interview.
Woo!
Because, 7 in 7 is not just a stated aim, it's a mission.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mission.
I'm being dragged along for the fun. I'm joining in the fun. I'm along for it. I'm totes here.
Except I've given you a really nice gift today.
What did you give me?
Hey, Barb, how you going?
Oh,
hey! Hey, Chris. Hey, Kristie. How are we?
Oh, it's good.
Oh, we're wonderful. We are absolutely fantastic. So, Bakeoff Grand Final Week. Woo!
Woohoo! Who would have thunk it, hey? We're finally here. Look at it.
So who wins?
Well, no, sorry. I'd tell you, but I'd have to kill you. And I've literally kept this secret from every single person that I've known for the last 9 months, including close-knit friends and family. So, it's been one of those ones that's on the tip of your tongue. People have tried to get me absolutely shit-faced to get me to reveal it, and I've kept it in, and I've kept it in strong.
Was that getting you shit-faced to get you to reveal the winner, or was that just getting you shit-faced?
I think there was an ulterior motive to it. So, but yeah, no, I kept the lips tight, and it's been one of those ones that's been tucked away for a few months.
Okay, so Olivia wins. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, nice.
There you go. Now, at least up until the grand final, that's our most recent winner.
Yeah.
So
100%.
So it's been quite an interesting sort of ride this season. We've been talking openly about the fact that it's probably the highest quality series. How is it for you being in that shed?
Oh, it was, first week was absolutely unbelievable. I'm not the biggest cakey person, and having that as birthday cakes as the first round, I'm like, oh my goodness. And the first 2 weeks, I had a chest infection, a sinus infection, and I almost didn't make it. I was crook as a dog. So I'm like, just get through the first round. After the first round, I rang my boss and said, mate, I'll be home in a week or two. Like, don't worry, don't worry about the leave. I'll be home. Don't worry about it. So
keep the gin for me. I'll be there soon.
That's it. So the quality was absolutely, it was scary. It was really, really scary. The guys are phenomenal bakers, and to still be where I am after 9 weeks of baking was definitely not where I thought I was after week one.
Well, a lot of us watched your progression, and you've been strong throughout, so it's not like surprising. What I am more impressed with though is the progression of your innuendo and dirty return.
You know what? As relationships got tighter and friendships got bigger, the innuendos just started happening. And
Buns is one of Australia's beloved comedians.
That's it. It's it was a dream come true. And there's lots that obviously didn't make the show, and and then ones that'll be sealed in the vault for forever. But it was definitely so awesome. Everyone's sort of the high pressure baking, and everyone's nice and quiet, and you've got the quieter bakers there, and just to have Chris on the other side of the room, which generally was Chris on one side of the room, me on the other, and then Claire and Mel down the middle, just to tie it all together. And it was awesome.
and the censor just sitting in the corner rocking quietly.
I did get told to shut up a few times. That was interesting. It was like, Barb, you're making too much noise. Keep quiet over there. So that was good fun.
This is serious. We are baking.
Yeah.
You're having way too much fun for a baking show. Stop it.
Get back to kneading your buns.
How about you just drop a pie so you can keep quiet for a while.
But it was an interesting, actually. The fact they started with cakes was really interesting. Because, normally you sort of like, well, they start with a really basic sort of sponge, maybe. Like British have started with a basic sponge.
Yeah.
We started with children's birthday cakes.
I know. It was a crazy, unusual first bake. I was like, cakes, okay, no worries. I would have thought, 4 or 5 weeks in, we get to the children's birthday cakes. But no, let's start off and start it high and wonder why we've got a great array of bakers there. So
and one of my favourite predictions that Kristie made in the entire series was in that first week, where she predicted that they would be making something out of the Australian Women's Weekly birthday cake book, and they nearly did. And I was so thrilled.
When I listened to that podcast before that aired the first episode, I'm like, ooh, good prediction.
No clue. We didn't know.
No.
That was awesome. That was good prediction.
I'm fingers crossed for a technical this year, which will be like the caterpillar cake, and they have to like. You know.
How good is
Jelly.
that? I love it.
I'm all about the jelly in the swimming pool. That's always, the jelly swimming pool with the bullets around the outside to make the pool.
You keep threatening to make that. My birthday's been and gone.
No, well,
I want
the swimming
one with a
pool.
mermaid in it now.
Okay, mermaid. Okay.
And an inflatable unicorn.
And inflatable unicorn.
I like it. Just sitting on top of the jelly.
Yeah.
And okay, we can do that.
Cool.
And then I have to make the various erasers I've spoken about before. I think I've had every variation on the clock cakes.
Nice.
Like there's like 4 different clocks with like the mice running up them, and I think my mother made one every year.
Did you ever get one of those, or were you a deprived child?
Yeah, no, I never got to cook cake out of the cookbook. I've got a twin sister, so it was always we had to kind of have 2 cakes that were either round and had a bit of something. Generally, like a grated chocolate. It wasn't even flake. It was like a
Cadbury.
What was that? Sorry.
I said either that or your twin sister got all the cakes from the Women's Weekly Cookbook and you didn't.
She's the evil twin.
My brother got some, most of the ones out of. They had like the little train and stuff like that. But no, I don't think we kind of got a round cake with that was a good one.
That was the cover. So of all those weeks, I mean, there's many, many, many weeks. Was there one you were desperately hanging out for before you went in? That was the week you wanted.
I'm kind of I like baking, the biscuits, croissants, pastries, all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of jack of all trades, master of none. So I can kind of do a lot of things quite well. I just haven't, found the one thing that I'm like can smash out. So I was really looking forward to the waffles like batter week. So I know it's not baking, but or the controversy of that. Don't look. So I was really looking forward to that because waffles are awesome, and being able to make the crepe cake, I was excited for that one. The croissants, I was even more excited with the croissants and the pâtissier week that I actually got to bench next to Chris. So that was the only time they put us. Together, and we completely got distracted. So that was the first and the last, and then we were segregated to either end of the room.
Away from each other.
Go! Never again.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the waffles because I think one of my favourite things that I watched you make in there was the waffles, the corn waffles.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm a massive savoury person over sweet. So like when you went, I'm doing that. I'm like, ooh, that's absolutely perfect. And that's one of the recipes from this year that I'm really keen to have a go at. So I'm looking.
Yeah, awesome.
Haven't tried.
I've been waiting for a while. Hurry up.
Yeah, get in there. Come on. I made them that week. I don't know why it's taking you so long. It's one of those. I'm a massive savoury person. Sweet stuff. I'm not a big sweet. I don't really like chocolate. I'm not a big fan of cakes. But throw something savoury at me any day of the week. Yeah, well, you know what? Baking doesn't have to be sweet. And that's why I think this whole misconception around, it's all sweet. And the majority of it is on Bakeoff is sweet. But it's all those, I love fruit mince, as much to your disgust, and sultanas and raisins and all those fun things. But I'm with you. I am with you on matcha all the way. I'm not a fan. I will not eat anything that has matcha in it. And just the smell alone just puts me off. So you've got me on that one.
Okay, you've redeemed yourself a little bit on the matcha. But look, I was going to save it, but fuck it. What's with the fascination with dried fruit, Barb?
I love it. I don't know what it is. Whether it's a Queensland thing.
No, they have real fruit.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. I dry my fruit. I dehydrate my fruit. Like if I know. So I'll get mangoes, end of the season, and I get a tray, cut it all up, dehydrate it, and you've got like mango chips. Like how awesome is that?
We need a dehydrator and some mangoes.
No, we don't.
And you can make jerky. Dehydrators are the bomb. You can dry cookies faster. You got royal icing. Come on, you've got a whole array of things for a dehydrator.
The last thing I need is more things in the kitchen.
I love gadgets. Oh my goodness.
You know, I'll put it. Okay, we'll get a dehydrator. I'll put it next to the sous vide. All right.
Perfect.
I'll put it next to the sous vide. We're absolutely sweet on that one.
We'll hopefully be renovating shortly. There'll be room. There'll be a new pantry.
That's when, spoiler alert, we build the recording studio.
Awesome.
Laugh.
I know.
You laugh. There's a recording studio.
You can have it like your butler's pantry. Like you walk in and you can go and you've got all your appliances stuck on the wall, and then it's in the end you can have like your little recording studio down there.
I love it. It's like, you know, when they have those secret restaurants that you have to go through like some dingy kind of...
Yes. Like those
recording studio.
whiskey gin bar type things, and you have to go through there's one, the barbershop. I don't know whether you've been there.
I love that. I was literally about to mention the barbershop.
Oh goodness, that's yeah. So you go.
I love the barbershop.
It's
amazing.
Barbershop?
You've never been?
No.
Take you to the barbershop.
Good.
So
what are you kids doing after this podcast? I mean, we can, you know, we're in Sydney. We can go and play.
Well, explain that. Okay, so it's a normal frontage.
Yeah.
Right, and it looks like an old timey barbershop, and you open the door and you go in, and it's a bar where all of the waiters and the wait staff and everyone behind the bar has the big old timey handlebar moustaches.
Even the ladies.
Especially the ladies. And then
top hats.
The top hats, and then there is a separate section where you can get a shave and a hair. If you want a shave while you're there, you can get a shave.
Do you have to not like shave and a haircut like Roger?
2 bits. It costs 2 bits.
Wow.
But yeah, no, it's the most amazing bar. So
awesome.
I applaud your efforts in going there.
It could be somewhere we go after the podcast.
That's an opportunity. I like that idea.
I don't need to work tomorrow.
Who needs work? I'm not.
Not that much.
I don't need to work that much. So
my boss. Our admin lady's going to start listening. She's hilarious. She's like, you've got a podcast. I said, do you at least watch Bakeoff? She's like, no. I said, well. I said, I watch. She goes, oh, that's good.
So we
follow along on the podcast.
Follow along. Well, my mother listens from time to time, and I do have to tell her which ones to not listen to. Chris's was a don't listen. Chris's was a big don't listen.
I said tomorrow, I'm sure.
I'm sure you did, but anyway. Speaking about Chris, so obviously, you know,
your brother from another mother.
There's a bit of a double act going on there with your brother from another mother. How quickly? Because it looked like day one. It was just this bang. So explain.
100%. Like we walked into the room and, meeting everybody. And the first moment I met Chris, I'm like, I know you from somewhere. And there is no way that our lives have ever crossed paths. And it was just an instant, I know you. And it was just, definitely a brother from another mother. And it was so awesome to have, somebody like that throughout the competition. And, Claudia is like a big sister to me, and the same with Rob's like a little bro. You become a tight-knit family very, very quickly. And I was always one of those people that would watch, these cooking shows and go, that person got kicked out after like day one. How the hell are you crying now? And it's so true, because you share the same passion and pretty much, after you meet, you're together for 24/7, and and not only that, somebody else's dream is kind of being shattered at the same time. So it's you are that emotionally, and you're tired and all that sort of stuff. But you form bonds so quickly, and lifetime bonds as well. So
it's like a micro environment, like it's like everything's just so
it's intense and everything happens fast.
Yeah.
It's like the episode of The Simpsons where Lisa's got her little community inside on the tooth. And society builds up rapidly over time. That's what Bakeoff's like. It's
100%.
The winner is like beamed into the
I love it. Yeah, 100% though. It is, and I guess unless you go through something like that, it's really hard to explain to somebody. But you've just explained it very well. Thanks, Chris.
I understand, because I was on video and my fellow contestants.
Go on. How did they support you when you didn't know who Tom Carroll was?
Well, Evelyn continued to make fun of me, and I think she still does today.
By the way, if anybody out there is listening and has access to footage from Vidiot from this era, I would greatly appreciate the footage.
In the Scott McRae era.
I would greatly appreciate the Vidiot footage of Kristie.
Probably
losing.
1995.
So 95.
The VHS, surely.
Yeah. Scott McRae afternoon show.
I don't look at it as losing. I look at it as learning that Tom Carroll's a surfer.
You've never forgotten it, and it's absolutely useless to you.
Exactly.
But back to Bakeoff briefly.
Yeah.
And well, we do the same about Chris and how everyone bonded so fast. And I mentioned it on his episode as well, and on the recap of the semi-final episode. But the moment where, you know, everyone runs over, he ran over in particular with Claudia to help you out in that last challenge, where it was sort of you and him sort of down that bottom fighting it out. And, you know, he's gone over and helped you. And you guys have all worked together, and you've had it where you've gone over and helped them on others. And you just don't see that anywhere else.
No.
You know, on MasterChef, you probably would have seen someone trip someone over on the way to the bench. Or MKR, they definitely would have burnt the other people's food.
Yeah, and you know, Chris did try to sabotage a few of my bakes early on in the rounds, and it was always that. So you see him running over, and you don't know whether he's just going to come and just tackle it off the bench, and or whether he's actually going to give you a hand. So
he break his arm once, he doesn't do it.
Exactly. No, it's, you know, that sort of stuff is amazing, and you know, none of us would think twice about jumping over and giving someone a hand. And you know, you'd finish your bake, and if you're lucky enough in time, and go, okay, who needs help? And it was literally just jump from one bench to the other and see who you could help out. And it was phenomenal. And you know what, it was Claudia and Chris helping me out on that semi-finals. You know, it would have been a cake that I wouldn't have been able to finish and put up. And the fact that I was able to finish it and put it up there was awesome.
Yeah. I kind of think in a past life, you and Chris were like Olympian rivals. You know, but you had this long-standing...
What sport?
Jousting, for sure.
It wasn't a sport, but it is now.
Yeah.
So,
it surely was back then.
Yeah. Okay, not Olympians.
Medieval.
That was medieval. You're like rival jousting nights, and you know, there was this one time when like something happened and one of you got hurt, and the other one's like, no, I'm not taking them on. You know, chivalry, ethics, and it's bonded from that. And it's been every life since, like when you were nuns together.
Hang on a minute. When they were nuns together.
Obviously, everyone's been a nun. There's so many nuns in history. If we've all reincarnated, we've been some kind of nun at some point.
I can guarantee you there is no way I have ever been a nun in any single lifetime that I have.
You went with, they were both nuns.
They could have been Buddhist nuns.
Yes, no way.
All right.
I'm pretty sure my innuendos just would not get out there. And
makes more sense.
Yeah, Vikings. Well, actually, you know what? That's definitely Vikings.
Vikings make.
I always, you know, like a good horn. So,
who doesn't? There's so Jin. So one of you was Oscar Wilde. I don't know which one, but one of you was Oscar. No, that's a good past life. I like that idea. We'll investigate that further. I'll go digging on pastlife.com. I'm sure that's how this works. I don't know.
It's
so
the whole website.
The other thing that I really liked about your time on Bakeoff is that you spent a large portion of it cooking things that Maggie B doesn't like.
Yeah.
So did you kind of hit the entire grand slam of things that Maggie doesn't like?
I'm pretty sure I nailed it. I'm pretty sure I made everything that she didn't like, and I'm pretty sure that that there may be some more things that she doesn't like. But
this is good. I like this.
Because going into a competition that you Matt and Maggie are judging, you think that somebody probably should have researched that and maybe made some flavors that maybe the judges that they were baking for may have liked. But
Wiki, and start listing all the things that she doesn't like.
100%, 100%. So, but I got to convert it on the pecans. Like
my favorite of all the moments was the children's sausage rolls with the sauce that was anything but. And that was perfect. It was just the way that Matt stunk the first one, going, "Oh, have that, Maggie."
I don't know how they became children-friendly sausage rolls, because they were anything but. That sauce is awesome and is a great chili. Like, I think Matt ended up taking the whole jar back home with him. So it was, I know that Rob's a fan shout out to you, Rob, of the sauce. And I think I needed to even sneak it out to Mel before the show had finished. I think next round she wanted it there as well. So it's a bit of a kick-ass sauce, that one.
I like the idea that, like, next week and the week after and the week after, you were actually sort of ahead on challenges because you had this secret stall under your bench where you're whipping up more of it. And you got stuff. There you go.
That's it. That's people go, I don't know how Barb got to the fine as well. It was the secret stashes of special sauce.
So I mean, Claudia was hanging on to all the booze, and you had the and then you were visiting Claudia to get the booze.
Barb's the saucy one.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Bit of a saucy one over there.
Hot and saucy. There we go.
Oh, I love it. I should brand that. Let's keep that one, huh? Barb's hot and saucy sauce.
Emma's got dainty bakes. Chris has bakes that are over the size of, like, most of the monoliths in the world.
Like grizzly bakes, monoliths.
Again, I still maintain that if you'd had an Emma or a Jess in the shed still when Chris made that trifle, they would have got lost. He could have just locked them in it.
Yeah. 100%. It was the biggest thing. I remember when they wheeled out the cart of trifle bowls for us to choose, and Chris just runs and grabs the biggest, smallest bowl. I saw him take that one and went, right, I'm going for the second biggest. Done. Sweet. And we on the day we kind of looked at each other and went, fuck, we're idiots. Like, what the hell were we even thinking? Like, seriously, how are we going to fill these bastards? That was so much fun.
Chris was thinking, I fucking whinged last week, it was too small.
Yeah.
100%. That was it. Showstopper. You think that's small? I'll fucking show you.
One thing we should be grateful for, it wasn't Great British Bakeoff, because Sandy Todsvig would have just, like, fitted into that.
Yeah, Sandy put nicely in there and could have said, "It's okay," back into the bowl. That would have been awesome.
Love
it. Now, obviously, as well on social, the hashtag Justice for Barb has taken a whole new meaning.
I loved it. Loved it. I know. How good was that? That was hilarious. Justice for Barbs. Yes.
Have you got Stranger Things, or are you one of the...
Yeah, 100%. No, 100%. Yeah, of course.
Because, I mean, as you would have heard on the podcast, the funny part was that Leah, who loves the Justice for Barb meme, has never seen Stranger Things.
A couple of peggings back there, Lee. I'm really sorry. I was like, really? You have not watched it? Oh my goodness, what's going on? But then you still love the hashtag, and you went back up there. It was good.
So were you excited, like, seeing a Barb, like a character called the show, who was fucking awesome?
And who wasn't under the age of, like, 60? Yeah. It's one of those names that, that it's either, the 70-year-olds. I don't think I've met any Barb, under the age of a good 60, I reckon. So yes, to see a Barb on a Stranger Things was awesome. I'm like, yes. And then they kill her off.
That could just be because Barbs live such wild lives that they very rarely make it.
Most probably.
So
Stranger Things have been Barb. There is a good chance that Jake...
Probably.
Spoiler alert.
Just spoil the series. So, in terms of your semi-final, your bakes, what was your favourite thing that you attempted that you'd never done?
I had thought of this the other day.
Was it the Frasier cake? The Frasier cake.
No, that was pretty cool to make, but it wasn't my favourite thing to make. That was an awesome. You know what? The one bake that I turned over, the technical, so I love the technicals because you panic until you get it and you turn it over. The one technical that I just high-fived myself, and you're going to find this amusing, was jam drops. I'm just like, yes. I turned jam drops over and went, are you shitting me? Are we making jam drops? That's like one of the first things I entered into my local show was jam drops, and I think I got a second place on that as well. Yeah. I got a second in the technical, so consistency there. But yeah, I'm like, jam drops, awesome. That was a cool one.
Wait. You entered them in the local show. Do you enter your local show?
Yeah, for sure. That kind of got me into baking. So I used to breed chickens. So I have an animal production degree, and
What
you know,
kind of chickens
and
do you have? Australops?
no, Plymouth Rocks.
Oh my God.
So black and white Barb, Plymouth Rocks. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So I used to enter my chickens. There you go. Your love affair's gotten even better. I love it. So I used to, obviously breed chickens and enter them into to the local show. And one of my friends was a brilliant baker, and she's like, "Well, why don't you enter the cookery while you're at it?" And because she bred chickens as well, and I was like, "Oh, really? Okay." So I threw a couple of things in, and lo and behold, I think pretty much everything I entered, I got a prize for. And I was like, whoa, actually, hang on a minute. No, yeah, you get paid. I think it's like $5 for first, and then maybe $3 and $2 or something. So, it costs $1 for each entry. It's high rolling. Exactly, high rolling money here. But then, like the fruit cakes and stuff, I think they were $20 or to win those. So,
do you think possibly they saw a bake and they saw a name on it that said Barb?
Presumed you were with the CWA.
Just assumed you were CWA.
That's exactly, I was all over it when I wrote Barbara Dunn on it, and that's why I didn't put Barb, put full name. Barbara Dunn, I'm like, you got to think I'm at least 70 on this.
Maybe just tremble your handwriting a little bit and you'll be perfect.
Knit it.
I have terrible handwriting anyway, so it was all there. I was all over it. Don't you worry.
Crochet's Barbara. Puts it over
a little doily underneath.
With the jam drop, because
I love it.
I put this out the other day, and I think it's an interesting theory. Did people screw up the jam drop because they just thought it was really easy?
Well, it all comes down to the fingering technique, and I think I said that on the show. And
yes, we love that quote. It was a good quote.
I'm not laughing. It's very serious what we're talking about. There's no innuendo here.
Got that down pat. So, to whip out the toys, and everyone kind of whipped that out. Didn't that bake? I love making biscuits. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I'm not sure what kind of happened. Whether they kind of went, this makes no sense. Why are we making jam drops?
That's all I could think of. It's like jam drops. Oh, that's easy. Sure, that's fine. I mean, obviously, as we've said, supreme fingering technique wins the day.
Yeah.
That's it.
And again, it's quality work, and it was important work.
Brings all the CWA ladies to the table.
That's it.
There were a few CWA bakes in this one, actually.
And it's just, there were, which was nice, because I literally am a rustic kind of show baker. I think I said first day, I think Michelle asked me something, and I'm like, do I look fancy to you? Like, does anything about me look fancy? There's going to be no fanciness going on. And that kind of was my undoing on the fruit mince tarts. That's the way that I do it. I actually love fruit mince tarts. Obviously, that's much you'll discuss there, Chris.
The better.
Yeah. And the forking things.
Yeah.
Got the tools out on that. See, this is I got the tools out on that one, and then done and dusted. No good on that. So
pies, when you fork pies, usually people appreciate.
I just see. I
appreciate a forked pie.
I thought that personally it was just because Matt was like, it's fucking better than mine. Can't be better than mine. No, fucked it up.
Yeah. Poor Matt and Maggie, they were having an argument over that. Like Maggie was, I've never seen Maggie so livid, like just going, oh my goodness, Matt, I can't believe you're not. Oh. Yeah, she was not a happy camper.
And love to see some behind the scenes.
Flustered Maggie.
I'm pretty sure that's why they had to get married the round after, because it was they had a little love fight, and then it was like, okay, well, let's get you back in, and let's throw wedding cakes in there, and let's get them back together. So let's get them married, and before they have another domestic.
So is there anything that you were pleased to never see again? Because most people have said the crepe cake, and it wasn't because
I love that.
It wasn't because they didn't like the crepe cake. It was because the idea of making that many crepes didn't appeal. But as you said, you made about 70. You only had to do 50. Someone was showing off.
It was, I needed even layers, so I'm a bit OCD with that. So I wanted, I had to do 25 in each tier, and you needed a bit of height. And even then, they still, you shove them together. There's nothing that I sit there and go, I would never bake again, or I didn't enjoy baking. I thoroughly enjoyed all my time in the shed and never took it for granted. And I think that kind of came across and showed and probably got me to where I not having some around under your feet and just being able to chill with your baking family in a shed and actually get the time to do that was amazing. So I loved every minute of it. Genuinely loved every minute of it.
And before we let you go, we just do need to also confirm with you that of course last night we did the Baking Ashes, and somebody made several versions. That would be you.
I missed that. Sorry, what was that?
Somebody made pretty much every rendition of Team Australia in the Baking Ashes last night. That would be you.
Cheers.
So, representing your country, it's a proud moment. Not real, but proud.
It's 100% proud. It's the proudest moment of my life, and I just want to say thanks to my fellow baking buddies, and it was I just couldn't have done it without you, and I really appreciate it.
Wonderful. I'm so tired.
I would have dead
I wouldn't cry. Anyway, it has been an absolute joy to have you on the podcast, Barb.
Indeed.
Thank you for the conversation.
Thanks so much for having me, guys. You do an awesome job week in, week out, and these last, what have we got, 7 days now?
Yeah.
Have been amazing. So, awesome. Good work, guys.
Right, well, thank you very much, Bob. Hopefully we get to speak to you again later. Up until, tomorrow when we do the Virgies, the Australia's first Bakeoff Awards. I'm still Chris.
And I'm still Chris.
So looking.
We'll catch you later.
Ciao.